So Amber Heard's lawyer Elaine has decided to put on the hat of publicist. A lot of us saw her on CBS This Morning, The Today Show, a whole variety of morning television shows in the wake of the verdict in the Depp versus Heard case, and made some comments that I think really rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
But the other problem is we had cameras in the courtroom. So here we had, not only did we have a group of Depp fans that were there every day, 100 were allowed in. They lined up at 1 o'clock in the morning for their wristbands to be in that courtroom. But we had everything on camera, and we had tremendous social media that was very, very, very much against Amber. And what Mr. Depp's legal team did in strategy here was play to the ignorance of people who don't get that. Why would she do this if he was beating her? Well, you know, really what happened here is it's a tale of two trials. Johnny Depp brought a suit in the UK for the same case, and the burden of proof was easier for him there. The son had to actually prove that it was true, and the court found there, and we weren't allowed to tell the jury this, but the court found that Mr. Depp had committed at least 12 acts of domestic violence, including sexual violence, against Amber. So what did Depp's team learn from this? Demonize Amber and suppress the evidence. But I think that there were a lot of influences here that were beyond our control. And I think the social media, it was like a Roman Colosseum. It is the best way to describe the atmosphere here. And I have to believe that the jury, even though they're told not to go and look at anything, they have weekends, they have families, they have social media.
They were not sequestered. They were not sequestered.
And the 10-day period we had, how could they not have been influenced?
A lot of people had an instant reaction that, there should be something wrong with a lawyer going out in public and saying these kinds of things. Impugning the jury verdict, relitigating the case with evidence that was excluded by the court from the proceedings, demonizing the Johnny Depp supporters who were present in the courtroom, supported him on social media. And I think probably most alarming, the suggestion that the jury probably just disregarded the court's admonishment that they were to avoid paying any attention to the case, getting any kind of exposure to the trial on news or social media. Suggesting that, they must have certainly seen the social media and therefore been influenced by it, and that would explain the only way that we could possibly explain this verdict. So folks have asked me for my opinion about this, and see, the thing that you gotta realize is that I've been watching this case since before Elaine Bredehoft came on board. So I've seen her tactics from the very beginning of her involvement with this case. And I have to say that if you've seen what I've seen, I don't think you would find these types of comments, these types of tactics at all surprising. Now, there was a story that came out shortly before the conclusion of the trial that apparently somebody had seen Elaine crying in the bathroom. And so there was a brief swell of support for Elaine, this notion that, she's just doing a very difficult job with a difficult client, doing it the best she can, and we should really support her and commend her for that. And I never got on that train, let me tell ya. I speak as somebody who has made it my profession to work with difficult and frankly often unlikable, immoral people. I represent some people who have done some of the worst things that humans can do to other humans. So I have a real deep appreciation of how to do that job with some type of integrity and honesty and respect for the participants, the effect that the process has on everybody involved. And what I saw from Elaine throughout this trial, and indeed throughout the course of her entire representation on this case. It ain't that. So I'm going to talk about some things in these videos. This is going to be a short series to look specifically at professional conduct, responsibility, what the rules require, but on a deeper level as well, what the system really demands from lawyers and what individual integrity should call on us to bring to the undertaking of representing difficult people. So in the next part, we're going to look at some ideals, some aspirations, but then also some real concrete rules with how lawyers are expected to behave and the role that they play within this system of justice. My goal in this examination is both to share with you some of the specifics about how lawyers are required to behave, but also, I think, give you a framework for understanding how the specific obligations that we have to follow often fall short of those aspirations, and as a result, fail to fulfill the important duty that lawyers have as representatives of the system of justice.